Hello, boys and girls. Mr. Palast here today. Nice to see you. We have another close read, which I'm very excited about because we get to learn about a new topic. Most of the time, they're nonfiction, and that's the case again today. We will find some that are fiction, but I love a close read because you really get into the text. You read the text, you think about the text, um, you read questions about the text, and you go back to find your answers and justify them. This one is called Super Croc. Imagine a time long ago when dinosaurs still walked the earth. It is a hot, sunny day. A young dinosaur steps into a river for a drink. He does not see the eyes watching him from the water. As he bends over to drink, huge jaws snap at him. He sees long rows of sharp teeth. He jumps back and runs away. He has just escaped a giant crocodile. Crocodiles have been around for millions of years. The first ones lived at the time of the dinosaurs. Scientists have known that for a long time, but they didn't always know how huge some crocodiles were back then. As big as crocodiles are today, they used to be even bigger. How big? Some were as long as a school bus, and they were big enough to eat dinosaurs. A few years ago, some scientists found bones in a desert in Africa. The desert was not always hot and dry. It once had many lakes and rivers. The bones belonged to a crocodile that had once lived there. That part did not surprise the scientists, but they were surprised by how big the bones were. The bones belonged to the biggest crocodile anyone had ever known. They named the crocodile Super Croc. Even now, animals of all sizes need to watch out for crocodiles. They will eat anything they can catch. They often eat small animals like fish, turtles, and frogs. But some crocodiles grow very big and strong. They can catch animals 3 times their size. They will eat buffalo, hippos, and even lions. Wow, king of the jungle. There are 14 kinds of crocodiles living today. One is the Nile crocodile. It can grow up to 20 feet. It can weigh up to a ton, which is 2,000 pounds. That is one big animal, but it is nowhere near the size of Super Croc. So just how big was Super Croc? It grew as long as 40 feet. That's twice as long as any living crocodile. Its head alone was 6 feet long. That is the size of a full-grown man. Super Croc weighed as much as 10 tons. That's about the same as 4 cars put together. And that's 10 times as much as the biggest crocodile today. In other words, Super Croc was super huge. And think about that. They said his head alone was 6 feet. I'm 6 feet tall. So just the head of Super Croc was the size of Mr. Palast. Enormous. Oh, we got more. At the same time, Super Croc was like today's crocodiles in many ways. May have lived to be 50 to 60 years old. That's about the same as crocodiles today. It ate fish and other animals. That's the same too. It had babies by laying eggs that hatched. You may be surprised to learn that crocodiles are good mothers. A mother may lay 20 to 80 eggs at once. After she hatches her eggs, she watches over the new babies. Mothers will stay with their young for a year. Super Croc could walk around on land, but it was so big it probably stayed in the water most of the time. The water supported its heavy body. That made it easier to move. It also made it easier to hunt. Super Croc could hide beneath the water. When other animals came to drink, Super Croc surprised them. It didn't matter how big they were. To Super Croc, everything looked like dinner. I'm sure at that size. All right, so we got some questions. What's the main idea of this passage? Now, this one, I want you to think about, what is this story mostly about? A, crocodiles are much bigger today than they used to be. B, the biggest crocodile ever known lived millions of years ago. C, the Nile crocodile is nearly the same size as Super Croc was. D, scientists found old crocodile bones in a desert in Africa. So what do you guys think? What's the main idea of this passage? If you said B, you are correct. The biggest crocodile ever known lived millions of years ago. So this passage is all about Super Croc. So that is the main idea. According to the information in paragraph 4, why were scientists surprised when they found crocodile bones in Africa? Now, boys and girls, when they say, according to the information in paragraph 4, right off the bat, I want to go back and find paragraph 4 and reread it again. I want to be very familiar with just that paragraph, that short piece of information, and then we'll go back to find some answers. And I love how they put numbers next to paragraphs. Very kind of them. Thank you, New York State. A few years ago, some scientists found bones in a desert in Africa. The desert was not always hot and dry. It once had many lakes and rivers. The bones belonged to a crocodile that had once lived there. That part did not surprise the scientists, but they were surprised by how big the bones were. The bones belonged to the biggest crocodile anyone had ever known. They named the crocodile Super Croc. Now, let's see which answer choice supports that paragraph. A. They were surprised to find the bones in a desert. B. They did not know that crocodiles lived in Africa. C. They were surprised by the large size of crocodile bones. D. They did not know that crocodiles lived the same time as the dinosaurs. So according to the information in paragraph 4, why were scientists surprised when they found crocodile bones in Africa? What do you guys think? If you said C, you are correct. They were surprised by the large size of crocodile bones. In the paragraph, it talks about that they knew crocodiles lived for a long time with the dinosaurs, but they didn't know they got that big. So the biggest surprise was the size of their bones. Okay. I'm loving the Super Croc story. I hope you guys are too. I got my crocodile green on for you guys. All right. Which question could be answered by reading paragraph 5? Again, when they say paragraph 5, that tells you exactly where to look. So let's go back to paragraph 5. Here it is. Even now, animals of all sizes need to watch out for crocodiles. They will eat anything they can catch. They often eat small animals like fish, turtle, and frogs. But some crocodiles grow very big and strong. They can catch animals 3 times their size. They will eat buffalo, hippos, and even lions. So think about paragraph 5 that we just read. All right, you ready? A. Where do crocodiles sleep? B. How big were Super Crocs? C. What do crocodiles eat? D. Where do crocodiles live? What do you guys think? It is C. What do crocodiles eat? Because, and I was thinking about this too, like when I was reading paragraph 5, it was all about their diet. It was saying that they'd eat fish, turtle, and frogs, but that some crocodiles get bigger and they can eat buffalo, hippos, and even lions. So that paragraph was strictly about their diet. And remember, when you hear like adults, like your parents talking about diet, it's about them trying to lose weight. But what diet really means is, what does that animal eat? All right, how are today's crocodiles different from Super Croc? So today's crocodiles, that you see down in Florida, different from Super Croc. A, today's crocodiles will eat anything they can catch. B, today's crocodiles can grow up to 20 feet. C, today's crocodiles hunt large animals. D, today's crocodiles live to be 50 to 60 years old. Let's see if we can look back into the text and see if there's a paragraph that compares today's crocodiles to Super Croc. All right, I'm looking at paragraph 8. At the same time, Super Croc was like today's crocodiles in many ways. It may have lived to be 50 to 60 years old. So that's the same. They have the same lifespan. That's about the same as crocodiles today. It ate fish and other animals. That's the same too. It had babies by laying eggs that hatched. All right, so that talks about how they're the same. All right, maybe we can find one how they're different. All right, let's look at paragraph 6. There are 14 kinds of crocodiles living today. One is the Nile crocodile. It can grow up to 20 feet. It can weigh up to a ton, which is 2,000 pounds. That's one big animal, but it is nowhere near the size of Super Croc. I think we found our information. So there's compare and contrast. Compare is telling how things are the same, and contrast is telling how they're different. So looking at this, which one do you guys think it is? A, B, C, or D? It is B, because today's crocodile grew up to 20 feet, which is the Nile crocodile, and Super Croc was way bigger than that. All right. According to the passage, why are crocodiles good mothers? Use details from the text. I remember them talking about that too. So why are crocodiles good mothers? Let's look. All right. I see paragraph 9. You may be surprised to learn that crocodiles are good mothers. Repeat the question. Awesome. A mother may lay 20 to 80 eggs at once. After she hatches her eggs, she watches over the new babies. Mothers will stay with their young for a year. So, according to the passage, why are crocodiles good mothers? Use details from the passage to support your answer. So I would say they're good mothers. They lay to 20 to 80 eggs. And then after the eggs hatch, the mother crocodile will stay with its babies for over a year. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this super croc. And as I said, when you guys are doing this, you really want to take your time and look back into the text. And even if you think you know the answer, just justify it for yourself. They're like, all right, I'm just confirming that I had that right. And you want to read it so many times that you know the passage. I always say, when you have a passage like this, like you want to know it so well that when you go home at night and you're having dinner with your family, tell them about Super Croc. Say how large it was, okay? And tell them how it was a good mother that, it would stay with its babies for over a year. And you can talk about the diet, how they could eat, fish, turtles, and frogs, but they could also eat larger animals like hippos and lions. So to take this one task and to try to separate it from just a test and more of just a way of convincing yourself, all right, I know this, I can do well on this, and I'm going to take a step further. I'm going to learn about this to tell my family later. Okay. Hope you enjoy this. And I'm going to see you guys soon for our next story. All right. Have a great day, guys.